Okay, let's get started. So my name is Michael Randolph, and I'm with the Center for Nonprofit and Community Development. As you know, we do monthly classes since 2007 on how to start a nonprofit and how to fund it. Okay, so we do have some guests in the day. If you can unmute yourself and tell us quickly as you can who you are and what type of nonprofit you're trying to get started, and what do you hope you get out of this class?
I guess I'll go. No one else was getting started. My name is Kimberly Newton, and I do a lot of work with advocacy and community education, specifically related to caregivers and support for elders as they age. And I also do environmental education with children and teens. So I'm looking to do some type of umbrella that's community education and outreach combined, where I can use both of those different spaces with the same kind of core team and core organization.
Excellent. Now, what's the name of your nonprofit?
Oh, we're not registered. Our organization, we've been operating as an NGO for the last 4.5 years.
I got you. So now you're going to be taking it to the next level, and you come to the right place to learn how do you start that nonprofit and how do you fund it. Excellent. Next.
Thank you.
Anybody next?
Hi, this is Cheryl Calloway. Again, for those who weren't on the call before when I announced, our nonprofit is called Grow My Giving. We're in the process of getting it set up, and we serve underserved communities with different projects, whatever the needs are. Right now, we're doing one called Fill the Table, where we hand out food every Friday, right off of Palm River and 78th Street. And we also serve the homeless all over the city. And our next project we're hoping we can get into is financial literacy. So we like to work with other nonprofits, hence the Grow My Giving, to tap into where everyone's expertise is so that we don't reinvent the wheel.
Excellent. Next.
Hi, this is Jamel. I don't have a nonprofit, but I would like to start one in the next couple of days.
You're at the right place. Yes, you're at the right place.
I'd like to start one in the next couple of days. And what I'd like to do is something that I've actually had in my mind for a while, which is basically starting something for disadvantaged young people to help them succeed, give them practical life skills so that they can learn how to be self-sufficient, particularly young minority males. Helping them learn how to navigate the system, how to fatherless, I would say disadvantaged minority fatherless males, helping them learn how to, maybe tie a tie, change a tire, get into school, learn about their abilities, help them be successful in life.
Excellent. Next.
Hello, everyone. I'm Iris.
Now, before Iris gets started, Iris Davis is going to be working with us as a volunteer. So you're going to be seeing a lot of her as it relates to our community engagement, be it in the different communities, be it in the training classes. She's going to be that person that's in the background, making sure and everything go correct. So Iris, we want to welcome you on board as a volunteer. And we're very thankful as to what you're doing. But tell us a little bit about your nonprofit and what you're trying to do.
I'm starting a nonprofit, Teach, Show, Grow, and I want to focus on those prison reform, if you will, helping them get out, learn to register for school, to apply to different job sites, help them know the benefits that the state in which they exit have. I want to show them all the ins and outs so that they can become productive members of society. If they need their GED, I want to be the one to encourage them, as I was once one of them. I want to go back to where I come from in my community and build them up. There are different skill sets that they have, but they don't have anyone to push them. So I want to be their voice, if you will.
All right, all right. Next, please. Someone that just came in. Francis, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're trying to do? Francis, I think that's your last name. Okay, well, you don't have to talk about who you are. That's cool. So that being the case, let's go ahead and get it started. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming in today. The workshop today is going to be very informative. You're going to learn about things in the workshop today that put you at that level where you can compete against your more established organization. So you can understand the ins and outs on how to do a theory of change, a logic model, all those things that's required to be a successful nonprofit, how to do a budget, how to put together a business plan, how to do a strategic plan, how to move in circles where you can make deals to bring money back to your organization. So we're going to stop the recording for now, and we're going to go direct. Okay, so we're at the end of class. Give me some feedback. What did you learn? How did you benefit? What should be included in the class? Because it's all about you. Jump on in.
Yeah, it was a fabulous presentation. It really hit everything that I had questions about. And it also gave me a lot more confidence and reaffirmed where I have studied and gathered knowledge so far, that I'm on track and that I'm doing well there. So thank you so much. And I definitely love that you covered the whole social entrepreneurship topic.
Yes.
I've worked with nonprofits for a couple of decades. And as I've seen that word emerge, I always have so much fun when I get to introduce that concept and that idea and that validity to someone's work and what they're doing. So I really appreciate that you covered that for sure. Thank you.
Actually, nonprofit have to operate as business using a business model. So that means that you have to own and operate your own business, because you can't depend totally on grants or you will die. Next.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Anybody else want to come in?
Yes, you had mentioned that 20% of, I guess, grants are coming from corporations and foundations, but you know, most of the money is coming from individuals. Where would you find individuals that are giving money?
I wouldn't go. It's too hard for individuals. I go for the foundations and the corporations. We're talking about literally billions of dollars. Hundreds of billions of dollars. Now, individuals is done. Let's say, for example, you got a Facebook and you do a fundraiser on your Facebook and you ask people, hey, come on, won't you help and donate? Or you do a fundraiser, something like that. That's where you get money from individuals.
Okay. And then my second question is, you had mentioned that like 95% of nonprofits fail. Why is that?
Well, because of what you learned in class today, you see how you understand all of the parts? Most people don't, it's not privileged to what you learn in class. They just do the nonprofit and they hope that they learn as they go. So unless you come equipped to go to school, educate yourself, that's when you're successful. That's why so many fail, because nonprofits start every day, and thousands of them that start today, within a year to 3 years, they're gonna be gone because they didn't get the appropriate training and understanding on how to be successful.
Thank you. This has been really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. Cheryl or
Yeah. So you had mentioned that you do this class once a month?
yeah, I do this class once a month. And primary because some people, for example, want to take to the next level. So they'll come back to me and say, look, can you put our 501c3 paperwork together? Can you work with us in the future and putting together grants and doing business proposal and doing strategic plan and things of this nature? This class gives an opportunity for folks to understand the scope of things that you're going to need in order to be successful at what you do. It's called an overview, but we also have in-depth services as well.
Okay, that was my question. So how do we get access to know when you're doing a deep dive on a particular subject?
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm definitely going to be sending emails out to talk
Okay.
about the 501c3 services, the different documents that we can prepare, and then give you some information on all of the services that we provide. I think one of the key services is that CEO training.
Right.
Because that CEO training puts you in a whole different perspective. You start with a corporate understanding on how to run the operation. And unfortunately, when you just go starting a nonprofit, most times we mom and pop. So we just doing what we do. But to be successful, you have to have that
Yeah.
corporate understanding of how to get the money. So when you're talking to corporate America, you're talking that language.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. I think Phyllis, have you had an opportunity to wave in? Phyllis, you want to wave in? Okay.
I'm interested in getting additional training. I've been
Well,
to several of your classes now, and
all right, so you want to take it to the next level.
right.
We're ready for you. We're ready for you. And I'm glad you attend different classes because at least you're getting a well-rounded understanding. So that means you got success written all over your face. You
Yeah.
don't plan to fail. And
I
you don't fail when you plan. So I'll be sending you out information as well. I'll be sending out information to everybody that took this particular class. Again, I've done this for over 1,800 nonprofits from around, nonprofit and for-profit businesses from around the country in order to put them in position to do what they do best. I always say nonprofits rock, and I really believe that. But you have to have the tools to rock. And in our society, normally you only get that tool if you're part of the elite, part of the established people. They decide who gets the necessary training to be successful. Well, I took that out of the equation. I say the mom and pop operation, they do the best work anyway. So why shouldn't we give them the capacity to compete and to bring in the dollars? So I'm going to end the presentation unless someone has something else they want to say. Again, I want to thank you. And I always say, go out there and save the world because there's so much problems in our society. But here's what people fail to understand. They see all the negative and they talk about all the bad things. And because I work with nonprofits, I say, look, I see all the good things. Y'all missing it. It's so many people that's doing so many good things, but you look at the media, that's all you see is bad things. So I said, that's why I always keep a positive attitude because I see so many people that's out there doing good. So that being my final thought for this evening. Again, I want to thank everybody. Anybody you want to say, anything you want to say before we get off air? Again, thanks a lot, and I'll be getting that information over to each of you.